Jesus Christ!
I am the goddess of destruction! Yeah, so nothing much happened in this episode. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, I was actually very disappointed.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to get a great reveal. And
maybe some more answers or something, but...
Stan's brother. Really? That's
and then
it?
they went all lost on us. Didn't say anything.
Yeah.
No, this was pretty amazing. Some of the biggest questions were answered in this one, only to raise even more, as a good mystery does.
That only raises more questions.
But, yeah, so this is not what he seems. I actually, because it just came out, we just saw it, I don't have the codes decoded, whatever, I'll try to get it next time. Yeah, in this episode, Stan is arrested for stealing, was it like nuclear waste or something like that? And,
yeah.
And
he went all Doc Brown, made some deals with some Libyans for plutonium or something.
And
stealing government waste.
Taken away, and Mabel and Dipper are trying to figure out if their con artist uncle is a really bad con artist uncle, in terms of like he's more evil than they thought, and he has all these different identities. Stan Pines may not even be his name, because they find an article saying Stan Pines is dead, died
Which
in a
means
car
then
crash.
Stan Pines is probably his brother then.
Possibly.
Because of his brother vanished.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Maybe it was a fake your own death kind of thing, or I
don't know what to believe anymore. So most of the episode is this supposed doomsday machine getting started up. They believe it's a doomsday machine. It kind of might be, because all the evidence it's saying this could destroy the universe or whatever.
The universe still seems to be there. It just brought not Grunkle Stan back.
Yeah, with 6 fingers. So he says, but it's important, you gotta go and let this happen, and it all comes down to Dipper doesn't trust Stan, but Mabel still kind of does. It's the big point of who does she believe, and she decides to not push the button and let the machine go off, and the universe is still there, but... the author of the books comes in. It is the 6-figured person. It is Grunkle Stan's brother. Yeah.
Not figured. I
said fingered.
Figured person would be some sort of homunculi with like 6 heads, and
which would be even more awesome, but still, this was pretty cool.
And like 12 arms. And
So, yeah, the one thing we were trying to figure out, like I said, we just saw this. I was like, look up, see if it's like the last episode of the season or whatever, and we didn't see anything that said that it was, so I don't
that's
think
the case, I'd be kind of pissed, because it went off only to bring one episode back and then another, like...
weeks later. Yeah, and it'd be 10 episodes as opposed to the 20 of the last one. So probably not, so I'm really looking forward to more answers and such. So I mean, some... so many conspiracy theories are now sort of brought to, a bit of a conclusion. Part of it, I mean, we know it was for his sibling. It's definitely to find a lost loved one.
In this twin case, or whatever.
Brother, yeah. Who is also the author, had 6 fingers, and is his brother. The one thing going through my head is that they were very particular about when the machine was going and Dipper's hair was flying up. They were very specific to show the Little Dipper mark on his head. I'm wondering if that's going to come into play later, because I don't know, because looking at their hair too, I never realized Dipper's hair and Stan's hair and even the brother's hair, they're very similar too. So because there are some theories that maybe
and then
they were
on Sweater Watch or Swatch, her sweater, Mabel's sweater was a key.
The key
was she
trust.
The key to open the door?
The key to trust. But
key wasn't trust. The key was just not pressing a button.
Well, but because she trusted Stan. Key.
Well,
anyway. But yeah, so this raises a lot of questions. The last thing we see 2 little kids, 2 little boys, who pretty obviously Stan his brother just on swings, and that's it.
Hey, I just realized at the beginning she said she was the goddess of destruction, and depending on where they go with this, her actions and not pressing the button, maybe she is.
Well, no, but if she did press the button, it would just stop. But if she didn't, the brother would have come through. So, but they thought maybe she was.
But we have no idea. My guess is that an unholy terror will be unleashed because of this. So that's the trade-off. He gets his brother back, but something by not pressing the button and shutting it down is unleashed, maybe weird triangle guy.
And maybe he was going into whatever this dimension or whatever to fight off, or he got trapped in there, like you said. Maybe he was the one in the car. But
if he wrote the book and he wrote in there, for the love of God, don't shut it down, then...
Well, maybe that's how he got sent through, and then Stan was trying to bring it back. Like maybe he got sucked through, or he saw other people get sucked through, or something. So yeah, just again some
intriguing.
I was gonna be really pissed off if like they push the button and Stan's like, don't you know what you missed? Or it's like I was really praying they weren't gonna go that route and just keep the mystery going longer. But I really they really threw in some. A lot major answers here.
There's
like,
a
not
lot
all
more room
the
for way more
ones.
mystery.
Yeah, that's what's so great about it. Definitely has kind of a Lost vibe with if you don't press this button or the countdown to the end of the world, the bunker, and stuff.
Yeah, only it's more entertaining than Lost, and I can actually follow it.
There's definitely a lot of influence from that, but also, I was saying, I like that this episode of Gravity Falls actually deals with gravity and falling.
Yeah.
You don't really see anything having to do with gravity. On top of the story being, a lot of these big reveals, the comedy was still pretty good.
I thought this was one of the funniest episodes.
You think so? I don't know if I'd say funniest, but
at least I will say it got less. The second half wasn't as funny.
It wasn't meant to be.
The first half where they seamlessly run through all of this exposition and still make it hilarious. Right from the beginning with the fireworks and the cop callers.
Yeah, and
the lawsuit maker. Yeah. Every single line was funny. It was tightly written. Like, I couldn't keep track of all the funny lines. Like, there were just so many in a row. And Wendy coming into work, I'm just going to go to work today. And then the cops are like,
maybe
nope.
I love the SWAT team coming after the pig. It's just like, we have a pig.
Seuss at the drive-in, oh my god, is this some sort of possession thing? I'm on the walkie-talkie. Oh.
Yeah, like it took me a minute too. I was just like, how would he be talking through? Oh, okay. Yeah. I was as dumb as Seuss.
Yes, you were.
But
yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really tightly written. Yeah, it got more serious in the second half, but the first half is some of the funniest writing. I liked the episode with Pacifica and stuff, but in stranger ways, that one was almost a little more serious. Like, as much as they're revealing in this,
I thought this one was more serious.
It got serious in the second half, but like the first half is just all about comedic writing. Like, it was just line after line and funny scene after funny scene, and the simple slapstick, like slapping Grunkle Stan's head onto the car hood for no particular reason. The cop stealing.
This time I'm actually innocent.
Yeah, this time I'm actually innocent. The cop stealing the icy pop.
I like
it fascinates me that you could write a show that has serious moments like this and yet still make it this funny.
Well, what
I couldn't stop laughing for about the first 15 minutes.
All the excuses we're making in our heads, like, well, that's not him in the suit, or and then you hear Belgian
oh no, I knew that was him. No, I knew that was him in the suit.
No, but it's like they keep clarifying. It's like, well, it can't.
I see.
Every excuse they're trying to say, well, come on, he's got to be good, and it's like he has all these identities. Well, come on, he's our Grunkle Stan. It's Stan Pine's dead, and so it's. Even though I think we know it's like, okay, the way they're animating him, he's a main character, he's gonna be onto something good that's meaningful and smart and stuff, but at the same time, for the characters to be seeing all this stuff, it's like, yeah, that's a lot of damning evidence, and they already know, like, he's kind of a con artist, but it's like, this is really like they haven't, he didn't tell them.
I'm not saying it's not serious, I'm saying that in its seriousness, there was actually a lot more comedy going on here than I thought there was in the previous episode.
Well, even like that big scene where...
Like, that one was more, you learn things about Pacifica. Like, it wasn't as epic, serious as this with the big reveals and all these things, but it actually was way more funny. So that's what I mean by less.
Well, even the scene where,
serious.
she's deciding whether or not to push the button, she has a line, I don't even know if you're really my Grunkle. I mean, it's like, that's just... It's really dramatic, but it's also
come on,
just
Seuss,
a
you
little
idiot.
laugh. Yeah, just
I have
a
a mission
little...
out to protect these kids.
I mean, just a little joke in there that I think adds a lot, just as serious and heavy as it is, it can kind of break it up a little bit.
And this will be interesting because, once again, as it should be, it always comes down to Mabel.
Yes, she was the key.
Now, did she doom us all? That's the question, but...
Well, even if she did... Well, in this case, I don't even know if you can blame her. I mean, it's like, because you see the brother comes back and stuff like that, so it's like, if she did push the button, I'd be really pissed. And the audience would be really pissed, so it's like...
Well, it's because Dipper is the head. the brain, which has its uses and functions, but occasionally you need your gut instinct, and she's all about like this gut instinct,
Yeah, no, and they both, she can be, it's the brains and the emotion, and you need both. Dipper can overthink too much and lose track of what's really important. Where she can, like you said, trust her gut, but she can also get distracted by anything. Whatever, boy bands and all that crap. So they both play a part, which I think really works out well.
Does that make Stan like the Venkman? Like he's the mouth, the scammer.
Yeah, no, he's just like.
So does that mean Mabel is Ray then? And Egon, and like Dipper would be Egon, and then Seuss would have to be Winston, sadly. But I mean, he is the blue collar worker there. Or you could. Oh, and then Wendy would be Janine.
There you go. So
we need a Gravity Falls Ghostbusters movie. Make this happen.
Yes, where they're all Mabel. Actually, that'd be amazing.
I was gonna say I would totally watch it.
Totally watch that.
If they said they were changing this Ghostbusters movie now and they were all gonna be Mabel, it was gonna be Gravity Falls,
I'd be fine with this. I'd be okay with this.
Only saying, Hollywood.
So yeah, no, good stuff. I can't think of anything really wrong with it. I mean, this is one of those where it's like you gotta wait until the end to see if it all adds up or whatever, but it's like, I'm intrigued. I'm really excited to see where it's gonna go. I hope this isn't the season finale. I don't think it is. But
I think we're still in the mode of like, let's see what happens since they just had the big reveal.
Yeah, because so much of it, but again...
Let me put on my skeptical.
Again, unlike Lost, which had... Don't get me wrong, like decent characters and decent writing and stuff. Everything was riding on the mystery. Where with Gravity Falls, let's say you never find out what happens.
You still had a very funny comedic show.
It was so funny, and there's still so many jokes and so many characters. I'm like, this was totally worth it.
I will say this though: Benjamin Linus as a character totally belongs on Gravity Falls. Mm-hmm. His out of context lines would have been perfect in the show. You mean time-traveling bunnies? Yes, John.
Yes, Mabel.
I have a question. I'm a Pisces. I could totally see him on Gravity Falls as a character.
So, yeah, we'll just see where it's going. Exciting shit, man. And shit, it's getting real. It's going down. Excited.
I didn't have the same heart. Got it from the belly, just abdominal breathing, You know what? You work on it. It's good. It's good.